Today we're going through a follow-along routine with some of the best exercises for improving posture. So these are going to vary from person to person, but generally there are a handful of exercises that most people are going to benefit from. So with this one, you don't really need any equipment. For the one drill, having a ledge that you can kind of hang off will help. But yeah, other than that, we're good to go. So the first drill is a chin tuck. So this is a nice one for activating those deep neck flexors that kind of get weakened if we have that forward head posture. So you can see I'm gliding my head forward and back. It's hard to see because of the slope, but I'm trying to keep my head as level as possible. I've got my hands on my chest to remind me to keep my ribs down, keep my core engaged throughout. So you're just breathing nice and freely, and you're just kind of gliding forward and back nice and slow. There's no rush. I'm going to do about 20 of these, and if you want to do some more, you can just pause the video and do your own thing. It's the last one, and we'll go on to exercise 2. So we're going to the wall for this one, and we're doing some wall slides. A great one for activating a lot of those muscles in the mid-back that really support our posture and prevent us from rounding over and getting stiff through the thoracic. So you can see I'm trying to keep all of my back, so my bum, my lower back, my mid-back, and then my head in contact with the wall, and then my arms are in contact with the wall too, and I'm sliding them up and down. So we're aiming for completely straight overhead. As you can see, I'm not quite getting that full extension in the elbows, but that's really what we're aiming for. So we're keeping really tight through the core, really being mindful of there not being a space between your lower back and the wall. So if you can feel your back arching, you might need to take a step away from the wall to make it a little bit easier, so you can get that flat back. And again, you're tucking your chin, so you're giving yourself a nice double chin again, just like the chin tucks. So you just extend it up overhead and then squeezing your elbows down towards your hips. Let's do a couple more of these. So we're doing about 20 of each of the exercises, but you can add more or you can do less. It's completely up to you. Very serious face. So the next one is kind of a shoulder YTL. So we're getting into this hinge, and we're going to do the Ys first. So the thumbs are up for this one. We're trying to scoop the shoulder blades up and then back. So we're just doing about 10 of these, and we'll do 10 of the T's or the L's. The L's and the T's. So we're activating the kind of the rear delts, the lower traps as well. Rounded shoulders, and it's a great one. And then with the L's, so we're keeping the elbows high and we're scooping the shoulder blades back and down, activating the serratus a little bit then, as the kind of the elbows on that top part of the motion. Keeping the core tight throughout this. If you want to have a rest at any time, then you can do so. But it's quite a good one for strengthening the lower back and the core as well. And then the T's, so we're squeezing the shoulder blades together, flapping like a bird. Trying not to shrug the shoulders too much. And remember to keep that core tight and to just breathe as well. Don't hold your breath. Give a little rest, and then we'll go back into another round of that. So with the overhead, so we're trying to get our arms, keep our arms straight and reach up overhead past our ears without flaring the ribs too much. Keeping tension through the core, keeping our feet kind of screwed into the ground so we're not collapsing in through the knees. And we go on to the L's again, so we're keeping the elbows high, scooping the shoulder blades kind of up, back, down, and then the bottom of the shoulder blade scoops under. This is a nice one to include in your warm-up for any overhead stuff or pressing stuff. And then 10 more of the T's. So we're really opening up through the chest as well, which can often get quite tight. And the shoulders roll forward, so we're squeezing back, really activating the mid-back, pinching those shoulder blades together. Strong finish. Okay, we're going to go do a lunge variation now with a twist. So we're doing a backwards lunge And then you can see my knee slides forward. If that feels safe to do, then you can by all means do that. And then we're twisting towards that front leg. So we're stepping back. You can see I've got my hands on my core again, just reminding me to keep that active so I'm not dumping a load of pressure through the lower back. I glide my hips down and forwards and then rotate up to the sky. So I really like this when it combines. We're opening up through the back leg, so the front of the hip. So open up into hip extension, opening up those hip flexors. We are activating the glute on the rear leg as well. And then we're also getting a really nice twist through the thoracic. So these are areas that are really common to be kind of tight through. Well, the hip flexors are often tight, the thoracic is often tight, and then the glutes are often weak if we have issues with our posture in general. So this is a really good one for opening up. So we're doing 10 on each side, just alternating. You can see I'm gliding down and forward, but always trying to keep that kind of a tension on the core as well. Just take it nice and slow. There's no rush with this one. We're also working into ankle mobility as well as we glide forward. So you can see we close down that angle, the dorsiflexion. If we're wearing heeled shoes a lot of the time, even kind of trainers with a bit of a heel, we can lose our ability to dorsiflex, which can then have an impact on our gait and on our squat mechanics. This is quite a nice one for working down into kind of that low squat position, but having that rear leg out behind us as well. So when you twist, try and engage the core and pull those shoulder blades together as well. You can even pause at the top of the twist if you want to, if it feels good. I'm really trying to keep that rear glute activated rather. It's going to keep the lower back safe and help you open up through that hip flexor even more. Just a couple more. This is the kind of the most physically challenging one we're going to be doing. And then last one. Good job. So our last mobility exercise is a calf raise, or kind of a decline calf raise. So as I mentioned just a minute ago, that if you're wearing heeled shoes a lot, then you can lose that ability to dorsiflex. So we're standing on the edge of a ledge or some blocks, and then we're letting our heels go below parallel, and then we're coming up onto the ball of our feet. Try not to let our ankles collapse inwards or outwards. So we're really maintaining tension through, or alignment through the ankle. And we are keeping the tailbone tucked under as well, so the glutes are engaged. As you can see, I can't see at the moment, but I'm holding onto the wall for a little bit of balance. You can pause at the top of the motion as well, and at the bottom to get a bit of a stretch. So this is a great one if you really struggle with stiff ankles and getting into a deep squat. Oftentimes it comes back to our ankle mobility. You might feel a bit of a burn. That's all good. A couple more. So really keeping the glutes engaged. Really trying to keep those ankles from collapsing in. And nice job. Hope that was useful in some shape or form. If you've got any questions, let me know below, and I'll put a link to a guide if you're watching this on YouTube that goes into each exercise in a little bit more detail. So yeah, subscribe, like if you want to, you don't have to, and yeah, hopefully catch you soon. I'm going to do some more videos over the next few weeks. Cool, see you later.